because of the promise, and it became a strategic lever for many of them. What you see here on the screen is one of the studies. This is not SLB by any chance. This is actually from folks up in Russia from 2 years ago. And that's, I think it's a nice figure describing what we do in the upstream sector, at least, from exploration, development to production, right? So this is describing the life cycle. And they've done a bottom-top study, right, on what could be the potential impact of leveraging AI to the industry. And the first thing that you see there is obviously efficiency gains, right? So you're reducing your time to value when you come to talk about exploration. When we come and talk about development, we are de-risking the decisions. Hence, your cash flow cycle is getting faster. So if you look at it from a macro, the cash cycle for many of these E&P companies could be faster. We're able to develop our fields faster, de-risk them faster, and potentially increase the longevity. And we'll come to show some of these examples. And many companies have been announcing. I mean, this is from ADNOC, part of the region, and there are many announcements around MENA that we can touch on, that they're seeing value of the technology, right? We've been working with ADNOC on many of their projects. So there are a lot of excitements. There's a lot of free results coming out into play. However, there are also pitfalls, right? So if you talk, we've done a survey for many CEOs of oil and gas companies globally. 92% of them are saying AI is important. 50% of them are saying we're already leveraging AI in many of our projects. However, the big challenge that they're seeing is they're unable to scale, right? So they're unable to embed the technology, to scale the value out of it. Part of it is the challenge comes in terms of adoption. So people, our own people in the industry, are not adopting the technology fast. Part of it is that our business processes, right? So you cannot, there's no value of the technology if you cannot embed it in the business process itself, has to change. And change management is big for many of these companies. Other challenges are related to, there are no ready out-of-the-box solution that they could plug and play. The technology is maturing. However, the technology also needs data. And that data, a lot of it could be, scattered around. It could be, there could be lack of quality in this data. So there are some real underlying challenges that prevents many of these companies either to leverage the technology or scale the value out of it. Now, we at Schlumberger, or SLB, we've been in this space for decades through our digital arm. So our first neural network or machine learning, embedded machine learning algorithm existed in the 80s in some of our tools and technology in some of our softwares. But in the last 10 years, our investment in this space has significantly increased because we saw a lot of our customers are asking us to help. And they were humble enough to give us the opportunity. We were humbled enough to be given the opportunity to participate in these projects with our customers, and we'll share some of the examples there. And the way we've been trying to help customers is in few folds. The first one is when we come and talk about change management, when we come talk about geoscientists, engineers, petrophysicists, production, drilling engineers, they don't want to go and code in Python and solve a problem. They want the technology enabled right in the place where they work, right? So if you want to use AI, say today in Microsoft Outlook, you don't go code in Python and come back to autocorrect. So it needs to be embedded in my day-to-day work. So we've developed and deployed more than 100 embedded AI solutions across subsurface, drilling, and production domains that are available to our customers. So that's one of the ways we're trying to help the customer accelerate when it comes to the business side. We are not Microsoft, we're not Amazon, but working with a lot of the customers around the world, we have the domain knowledge of the data, of the business process, and we're able to help or support in terms of integrating this. Now, with all this investment, we still realize that we are probably just fixing 60 to 70% of the customer needs. So we created what we call the Innovation Factory, and we actually have in Pakistan quite a few people there. from the Innovation Factory. And truly, there are 4 deployed software engineers, data scientists, solution architects. But what's unique about them is that they bring domain knowledge, whether it's subsurface, geophysicists, petrophysicists, drilling, and actually work on the customer data to be able to solve these challenges. And we've had about 200 projects deployed in the last 2 years across the globe with our Innovation Factory teams. The third one is some of our customers are investing in their own capability. I was actually just talking over lunch with, we had quite an interesting discussion with one of the customers here in Pakistan. And they're telling us that they're developing this AI tool to automate their field development planning. So this exists not only globally, but also here in Pakistan. And what we've been doing is we've been giving them some tools and technology to help them accelerate the work that they're doing internally. And lastly, which I think is the most important aspect, is you cannot accelerate the adoption and the value of AI without onboarding the people who are working in this industry. So when you come talk about senior leadership and management, mid-level management, we come talk about, our drilling engineers, production engineers, they want to be part of it. And while there are a plethora of courses and training that is available out there, if you go on Google, YouTube, you probably could learn a thing or two about AI. But what we've done differently is we've built this custom, unique program for the energy industry and the oil and gas industry to help upskill and accelerate. And just last year alone, we've trained more than 150 people, and this year we're about to train 1,000 people just in Middle East and North Africa region. So this is how we've been trying to help. And the idea is not to show you who we are, but it's just to give you an idea and a glimpse of what we're doing. So we've touched on how do we accelerate with AI, and I want to take one example on exploration. Exploration is quite a data-intensive process when it comes to acquiring seismic data, analyzing seismic data, conditioning seismic data. And in some cases, the data that is collected through, for seismic could reach terabytes. And I was just recently involved in a project in North Africa where it took them about 8 months to complete the full interpretation for huge, large, massive area. And what we've done is we've built these tools and technologies covering about 70 or 80% of the work being done by geophysicists to help them accelerate using AI. So AI is not replacing truly human, but AI is working side by side as a co-pilot, where geophysicists actually guide the AI into conditioning the data, interpreting the data, identifying faults, stratigraphy, etc., horizons. And the value out of this is you not only reduce the time, but you actually get more insights that humans might have missed in the past. And we've done back-to-back comparison between human alone or human plus AI. And the reduction in time is significant, but also they had about 40% more faults identified. And this is one of the examples that we have that we can share as well later. Coming to the Innovation Factory, again, we touched on, we've built a lot of solutions over the last 24 months. But I want to touch on something in the development area. Again, trying to bring the idea closer on how AI could help, and we could go on many different use cases. And this is ADNOC. We showed that they've spoken about the value they're seeing out of the technology. Our team has been working and collaborating with ADNOC team, and they've produced more than 30 solutions together, right? And they filed numerous patents, technical papers, and we can share all of them with you. And they've won many awards together. So it's not only SLB, but it's actually ADNOC team who's working on that. And these 30+ solutions, they covered various aspects of FDP, field development planning, whether it's from data conditioning, be it well log data, be it seismic data, all the way to model-related activity for reservoir engineering and others. But I want to go into drilling. Now, again, I've just learned that there are thousands of wells in Pakistan in the last 48 hours where I spent here. And I'm sure, anytime you drill a well, there are valuable lessons and insights that we're getting out of it. And these are potentially captured in DDR's daily drilling reports. and many other sources. And here what we've done is we took one field where there was 7,000 plus wells drilled. We ingested all the unstructured data coming from PDF and Excel. And truly, the customer now have this tool, or the well engineer and the drilling engineer have this tool that they could interact with and make smarter decision and better decision as they plan the next well. Be it, how do I optimize my MUT parameter? How do I look for risks? How do I look for losses? What could I do? And much more. And the value out of this is that they're able to reduce 30% of the incidents in their new wells that were drilled out of this tool that we built together with them. So it's not only exploration and reservoir engineering, but also in drilling space, we're shown an example here. So on the AI platform, again, it's a platform that we offer to the customer where they can, bring their own people, develop. But what's unique about it is we're giving them a no-code, low-code environment, and it's out of the box. It integrates with oil and gas data. Our data is quite unique. When you come and talk about SegWi, LAS, and many other different sources, OSI, Historian, Pi. These are data sources that are not easily consumed like Excel or SQL and others. So this platform allows the petrotechnical experts and customer organization to connect to data, build solution, and innovate to solve problems by themselves, i.e. reducing the cost to build AI solution, reducing the risk, and accelerating the time to value out of it. So another example here is, excuse me, one of our customers, they're operating a field as well with a couple of hundred wells. And they did some well testing. So for those people who know the domain, I mean, they were doing like every 12 months some well tests just to gather some fluid data. But truly all the wells did not have multi-phase flow meters, and they could not afford to do that. But what they had some instrumentation data flowing in, be it pressure, temperature, and they had the historical well test data. And what they did, they built a model and to gain visibility live from these sensor data on what is the potential flow regime at the choke for them to be able to plan the intervention, i.e. if the water cut is increasing, if they're seeing certain phenomena. And we'll share some of these with the team here. I know we're short on time, so I'm just going to try to accelerate. So that was actually a project built by one of the customers we had. And finally, on the AI training, I was talking about we're helping the customers. We're working with them on upskilling their own people, right? Trying to understand how you can actually bring value to your organization, whether it's at an executive level. We're doing this 1 or 2 days training just to help upskill executives. Mid-level managers, probably a bit longer, and even down to hands-on. We just finished a round in Saudi with Aramco, phenomenal team, right? And they've done some phenomenal work on capstone projects, bringing value to Aramco. So that's all from my end. So again, I mean, just to point out a few things, the technology is reliable, is available. It could have an impact. It could address some or all of our business challenges in this industry. And I'm sure that Pakistan will find value in it with the phenomenal people you have. So thank you for giving me the time today. Awesome.
Thank you, Mr. Modar Khan, for an excellent presentation. With this, we come to the end of the presentations, and we'll now move on to back-to-back panel discussions, which will be starting in a few minutes' time. So you're all requested to sit over here. And we'll have panel discussions on 2 subjects, Pakistan's offshore blocks exploration and energy sustainability and affordability. So we'll be starting in a few minutes' time. Thank you.
जो कनेक्ट है निशान टक कर बात करके दे।